Hey everyone. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk to you about Autopia, okay, at Disneyland. Now, basically, right now, I guess Hong Kong Disneyland and Tokyo Disneyland has closed down their Autopia attractions. I think they're called something different over there. I think it's like Speedway or something else. But essentially, it's Autopia, and they shut them down, okay? So, what does this mean for Disneyland? What does this mean for Walt Disney World? Is Disney basically, going to phase out these Autopia attractions? In my opinion, yes, I think they will. I think eventually the Florida version and as well as the Disneyland version will go the way of the dinosaur. Now, Disney fans are very nostalgic, and I'm very nostalgic, okay? So a lot of this talk about removing an attraction from Disneyland that was there from day one, is controversial. A lot of people have issues with it. I personally don't. I think Autopia is something that is very outdated. It's something that I feel that it wastes a lot of real estate, especially at Disneyland Park. At Disneyland Resort, we don't have a whole lot of space. We're very limited on our space. So you have an attraction like Autopia, which is like a B or maybe a C ticket attraction. It's not super it's not super immersive. It's not, it's not up there on the ticket scale. You have an attraction like that taking up a whole lot of real estate. It kind of straddles Tomorrowland and Fantasyland. So, in my opinion, I think they should absolutely get rid of Autopia. Absolutely get rid of Autopia. As sad as it is, I know it's been there since 1955. There's a lot of nostalgia with that attraction. As a kid, I grew up on Autopia. I have a lot of memories on that attraction, but it's really time for the park and the fans to move on. I think that the whole idea is it's outdated. It's not really relevant at all today. The attraction still uses gas guzzling little vehicles. There's nothing about Autopia that says the future to me. That says tomorrow. It's really just outdated, and it takes up a lot of space. So I think its time has come. Now, before Star Wars Land, before they announced that it's going to go behind the Rivers of America, in that backstage area, I really wanted Star Wars Land to go where Autopia is. I wanted it to go basically from Innoventions all the way to Small World. I think Star Wars as a franchise would be the perfect segue from fantasy to tomorrow. That would have been the perfect franchise to put in that back area of the park. It's a perfect, like I said, it's a perfect segue between the future and fantasy. You can have more whimsical architecture on the Fantasyland side, like the planet Naboo. That kind of architecture on the Fantasyland side, and you can have more, futuristic, up-to-date architecture like the planet Coruscant on the Tomorrowland side. That was my original hope for Star Wars Land. Now we all know that ship has long sailed, and they're actually going to be building it behind Frontierland and the Rivers of America, which is great. But now we come to the issue of what should they do with Autopia? It's a huge amount of property. I think they should absolutely get rid of it. You can actually build a really immersive attraction for Tomorrowland in that area. Okay, you can even actually split Autopia into two different attractions. You can have maybe if they're going to expand Fantasyland, you can put an e-ticket or even a D-ticket Fantasyland attraction on that side, and then on this side by Tomorrowland they can put a another C or D or even an E-ticket attraction for Tomorrowland. On top of that, it would fix the problem of the people mover. Okay, the people mover has been an issue for Disneyland for decades. It's like I think it closed it closed I think in 2000. Well, actually, I think it closed in like 98 or something. I don't know. It was like the late 90s, early 2000s. And since it closed, the track has just been sitting there rotting. Okay? And the back part of the track is the worst part of the entire thing. That whole area over Autopia, a lot of the trees have grown over the track. It's all rusted. If they took out Autopia and they put an E-ticket or a D-ticket or whatever, a new attraction in that back part, they would have to bulldoze those tracks, which I know. I know it's an unpopular thing to say, but good riddance. I really want the Autopia track, especially that hangs over Autopia, to be bulldozed. It's an eyesore, an absolute eyesore. So, yeah, I want them to get rid of Autopia. I want them to move forward and try something different. Autopia, let's be honest, is not that immersive. It's not an immersive attraction. Disneyland was designed by Walt Disney to constantly push boundaries, to push that envelope for new technology, for immersive environments. Autopia doesn't meet that criteria anymore. It just doesn't. And as much as we all love the attraction because it was there since day one, I think it does a detriment to the park. Okay, that area of the park looks really run down. At least at Disneyland. I think it looks a whole lot better at Walt Disney World. I will say that. The Speedway at Walt Disney World looks a whole lot better. But at Disneyland, the Autopia looks like garbage. Total garbage, okay? They need to get rid of it, and they need to put something in there that's a better fit, more immersive. Once Star Wars Land opens, Tomorrowland, and I mentioned this in another video a couple weeks ago, once Star Wars Land opens, Tomorrowland is going to look really outdated, okay? It's going to look really outdated. They're really going to have to figure something out and rebooting this whole land. And honestly, for the last few years, all they've done, for the last 20 or 30 years, all they've done is repaint the 1960s buildings over and over and over and over again. Repainting the buildings is not enough. Okay? Tomorrowland needs bulldozers and a total reinvention. A complete reinvention. Okay? Enough of the repainting, enough of the redressing the old buildings. Tomorrowland needs to be completely reimagined. It needs to wow us again. Okay? And in order to do that, we got to get rid of Autopia. We got to get rid of Autopia. I know it's hard as Disney fans. We're all nostalgic, but it's something. It's something that has to be done. It really does. It has to be done. So I'm hoping that with Hong Kong Disney and Tokyo Disneyland getting rid of their Autopia, I'm hoping that Disneyland Park in Anaheim gets rid of their Autopia, and we can really move forward with a Tomorrowland expansion or reboot or whatever you want to call it, that's way more immersive and way more impressive. We need that. Tomorrowland at Disneyland has been a total joke for decades. Okay, even the new Tomorrowland in 1998, it hasn't really measured up. It hasn't. It's outdated. They repainted all the old buildings, brown or gold or whatever it was, and they repainted them again silver and blue. It's just the same old thing over and over again. They have to really think about this land and really reboot it. And the only way to do that is to get rid of Autopia and start bulldozing some buildings and actually make the land different. Make it look different. Make it impressive. Add a Tron coaster like the one they have in Shanghai. alter the architecture. So when you walk in the land, you walk in there like, oh my God, this is amazing. You know, they really have to do something with Tomorrowland. So I fully support them getting rid of Autopia. Yeah, it's sad. You know, look, I grew up on Autopia. There's people that are a lot older than me that grew up on Autopia. Everyone loves that attraction. It was one of the opening day attractions at Disneyland. I get it, you know, but Disneyland is something that needs to evolve. Okay? It needs to evolve in order to survive. You can't keep taking these old 60-plus year attractions and expecting them to be relevant in 2017. It doesn't work like that, you know? Disneyland is an idea. It's a concept. It goes beyond the physical buildings in the park. So people need to get past that. People need to understand that it's the concept that Disneyland transports you into different time periods, into different worlds, into different eras, into different lands, into different, you know, parts of history. Disneyland does that. So as long as Disney keeps the vision of Disneyland intact with the new stuff that they bring forward, then Disneyland will never die. So Disneyland is bigger than Autopia. It's bigger than the Skyway. It's bigger than the People Mover. It's bigger than, honestly, it's bigger than the Matterhorn or bigger than Pirates. It's bigger than all that. Walt Disney wanted to create a place where you can be transported into film, into fantasy, into history. Okay? So, no matter what happens with the park, whether you change the park, alter the park, as long as you stay true to that vision, that original vision that Walt had, Disneyland will always be Disneyland. Autopia no longer fits that vision. It's certainly not immersive. It has nothing to do with the future. These gas-guzzling little go-karts have nothing to do with tomorrow. It takes up a whole lot of area, a whole lot of real estate. It just doesn't fit anymore. Okay, and it's time for it to go. So I really hope that with Hong Kong and Tokyo kind of taking the lead and getting rid of their Autopia attractions, I really hope Disneyland Park does the same thing. And I hope our friends in Orlando, in Florida, I hope they do the same thing as well. It's time to move on. It's time to move on. And it's time to create new experiences that wow guests and take them into the future, into tomorrow, you know, and it's so important that Disneyland constantly pushes that envelope. And clinging and holding on to the past just for the sake of it being the past is not a good way to go. It's just not. I'm sorry. So I know it's probably not a popular opinion to have, but I really think Autopia needs to go, especially at Disneyland Park. It takes up a whole lot of real estate. The People Mover track that goes over that attraction is like decaying and rotted and disgusting. Something needs to be done. It needs to be done, and I think that a whole revamp of Tomorrowland and building something new and fresh in the Tomorrowland, in the Autopia spot, is the way to go. So let me know, comment below, let me know what you think of the fate of Autopia. Should it stay? Should they just kind of reinvent Autopia? Maybe make electric cars. Maybe have Tesla, you know, sponsor the attraction and have electric cars. Are you on my side where they should bulldoze it completely, reimagine, reboot Tomorrowland completely, and build like an e-ticket on that area? It's big enough, definitely big enough. Should they do that? So comment below, let me know what you think. Like, subscribe. I appreciate all your support. I recently, actually just the other day, hit over 100 subscribers. I just started this channel in September, so I am very grateful, very thankful for each and every one of my subscribers, and I'm really happy that I hit over 100 subscribers. It's a big milestone, and if you guys have any ideas in terms of, like, you know, what kind of videos you want me to make in the future, comment below. Let me know. I always respond to the comments, and if you have any ideas in regards to future videos, I will definitely, you know, accommodate that. I will definitely do that. I love discussing this stuff with you guys. So thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.